Hi guys, this is Bit15. Thought I'd do a quick little review of the Cingk Component to HDMI adapter. Um, I just bought this not too long ago. I got it because I had a lot of stuff that used Component, and mm, most TVs and most monitors nowadays, they don't even come with a component that you can plug anything into. So um, I figured I'd at least try one of these things, and the one that I got, I really like. So I just got the basic model. It was $37 when I got it off Amazon. So I don't know how much the price has changed. I don't know if it's more expensive or less expensive or whatever. As I said, I just got the basic model. I didn't go for like the pro model or anything like that. So, um, pretty easy to set up because really there's no software or anything involved. Just gonna put the black box on your table or your computer desk or whatever. Plug it in to like an actual power thing. Then plug in the five RCA's in back and the one HDMI that they have front. So there are two lights, a red one to the right of the HDMI input. Um, that one's constantly red whenever it's receiving power. It is quite bright, so um, yeah, I probably wouldn't like put it right in front of your face when you're trying to sleep or something. So um, there's also one to the left of the HDMI in, or sorry, the HDMI out, which is a little less intense. It is red when there's nothing going through it, but it turns to green when there is. Um, on the front, it also says 720p and 1080p, and there's a switch button. You can press that one to change around like the settings for what you want it to display as. But that's probably the biggest complaint that I have about this one is that you really can't tell which resolution you're changing it to because there's only one button and stuff. So on your monitor, you either be able to display the setting or it just won't. So and you'll have no idea what's wrong with it. You don't know if one of the RTAs got unplugged or if it's just not the correct resolution or what. So um, the way that I got around this was that I also run it through my Elgato. Um, that will tell me like exactly what it's being displayed as and whether it's supported or not. So um, because some of the resolutions that it has are just kind of weird. Yeah, it's got the 720 and the 1080, but um, yeah, it's got like 2880 by 720 or something like that. And it is just really weird to see that. So, um, and basically, it won't be displayed on basically anything. So, there are three things that I really like about this one. The first thing might not sound like a big deal or anything, but it actually supports component switches. Not all of them do. Um, thing with having a one component switch hooked up is that, of course, you can switch between multiple systems. Plus, you can do switching on the fly, which is really nice. Plus, you don't constantly have to unplug things from the back. Two, it shows 60 frames per second. Um, Not all of these actually display at 60 frames per second. A lot of them max out at 30 frames per second, which I guess would be 29.97. But um, yeah, it can make your games look a lot nicer. Like for instance, something that would normally display at like uh, 720p at 30 frames per second looks much nicer displayed at 60 frames per second. So, which I guess would be 59.94 or so. And third, and probably the biggest reason for most people to get it is that it makes your old games look a lot nicer. Um, Even displaying directly through HDMI on the PS3, you usually don't get the full 1080p experience. Um, a lot of games they tend to max out doing stuff at 720p. That's really okay and stuff, but for most games, it looks a lot nicer when you put it at 1080p. So um, sometimes you do lose the 60 frames per second thing, but um, doesn't happen too often. So um, not really sure if doing it at like that resolution with say a first person shooter would really be recommended, but for RPGs looks really nice. So like for instance AOS on the PS3 for Star Ocean: The Last Hope, um, it displays normally at 720p, and going through the upconversion process looks a lot nicer. So um, you can also display like the old systems like the PS2 at 1080p, which some games look really nice when displayed at that high of a resolution. For instance, I would say Dragon Quest VIII, even though it's one of those 480i games, it looks really good when you display it at 1080p. Um, However, there are exceptions. Final Fantasy 12 for the PS2, it doesn't look quite as nice at 1080p as it does at 720, at least in my opinion. Um, the only real fortunate thing is that when you display it at 720p, uh, you really get the full effect of 60 frames per second. So, um, but yeah, that's about it for my mini review for this product. You guys have any questions? Leave it in the comments below. Anyways, yeah, I will see you later. So, take care.